I know you scalpers thought you had this one in the bag. Sorry. What's up, everybody? It's your guy Q, the movie collector here again, back with another video. And on today's video, we got one of my all-time favorites here. When this movie came out, it came out in a time period, I don't want to say where the superhero movies needed a change. They really needed a change at the time it came out. And, you know, Marvel was doing its thing. DC was kind of doing its thing too. But this movie came out of left field. What can I say? But I'm talking about none other than Kick-Ass. So this movie, I forgot what year it came out. It was like the early 2010s. Trying to look on the back here. 2009. So it wasn't 2010s, it was 2009 that this movie came out. And I remember going into a movie stop because I didn't go to the theaters a lot back then. And I remember picking this movie up because I saw so many great reviews on it that I had to check out this crazy superhero film, or whatever you want to call it. And I remember getting home, popping it in, and just being completely amazed at the comedy that was actually introduced in it, the action that was fantastic in it, and it had a good bit amount of gore in it too. What can you say? So, but this movie stars Aaron Taylor Johnson, which you guys may know him as as Craven the Hunter, and you may know him from the first Godzilla film as well. And then you also get Chloe Grace Moretz, who plays as Hit Girl. She had a few movies in prior to doing this film, but I loved her as Hit Girl. Loved her as Hit Girl. And then you also had the legendary Nicolas Cage playing as Big Daddy, who is also who plays as Hit Girl's, Chloe Moretz's dad in this movie. And then you also get Christopher Mintz-Plasse, or however you pronounce his last name, from Superbad. So you get him, Mr. McLovin. But anyway, I love this movie so much because all of the comedic timing that it had in it, and also the jokes that it had imposed onto the typical superhero affair. Like, there's a bunch of puns in it. It's just great. But anywho, the movie follows this kid who grows up in the neighborhood, gets tired of seeing people being taken advantage of, getting robbed, and all types of stuff. So he decides to do the next thing. He goes on to become a crime-fighting superhero. But in his quest of doing that, his first time on the job, he nearly dies. he gets stabbed, then he gets ran over by a car, and breaks every bone in his body pretty much, and they have to put all these metal plates in his body. So then he goes out, he stops another crime, or so we think he's stopping a crime, but I don't know. That scene always makes me laugh because it makes you think that he's stopping a crime, but actually just helping the dude that started the crime out. But he literally starts getting his ass kicked. But he stays in there and he just keeps going. And so eventually he meets Hit Girl and Big Daddy. And then the movie pretty much takes off from there. It's a really, really great movie. And it's based off a comic book, believe it or not. And I'm a guy who around that time period, I don't want to say I was heavy into collecting comics, but I was somewhat well versed. And I never picked up the original run of this comic. And it's still, like, it kills me to this day that I never picked up this comic. And the comic, you may actually know the people who done the comic, that was Mark Miller and John Romita Jr., which they are names that are very out there as far as for the Marvel side of things. But they created a graphic novel comic book from this, and from that, this movie was birthed. But yeah, so my intro at the beginning of the video anyway is just me poking fun at the people that tried to, the scalpers who had that Best Buy 4K Steelbook, the exclusive Best Buy 4K Steelbook that went out of print, and people were charging outrageous amounts of money for it. So safe to say, when Lionsgate actually announced this, I was excited because I didn't own Kick-Ass in my collection, and I really wanted it, but I didn't want to spend $150 to $200 for an out of print steelbook. I just didn't want to do it. But safe to say, the packaging that Lionsgate Limited does for their steelbooks, I will tell y'all something. Lionsgate Limited has been killing it as far as their releases go. You may not be an absolute fan of the artwork that they make for their releases, but they offer a lot of value with their stuff. They pack their releases with tons of special features. The transfers, for the most part, are great. We'll get to that later. You get some limited stuff in here that's only purely made for their releases. But yeah, so let's talk about it. So here's what it looks like. This is the front of it. And they call this the Unmasked edition. So there's the special features and everything here on the back. So I'll go and take this out here. Show y'all how cool that looks. So they become unmasked. So you see that. Pretty cool. And then there's the back of it there. You get the Red Mist and his dad. Pretty cool. And inside here, I want to make sure I don't give this code out. Not quite ready for that yet, people. But this is the inside of it here. And if you guys don't know, right there, that's actually Kick-Ass there at the end of the movie with a jetpack on. So, but yeah, very, very solid release. I love Lionsgate Limited releases. I think they're just absolutely fantastic. And I'm glad that they're doing it. Now, I will say to people that's on the fence about getting this directly from Lionsgate, I need to do a video of like actually unboxing it, because you would think this was coming from one of the physical media online shops, because how well packaged this was. They pack it to the brim too. That Lionsgate, they pack these things pretty nicely. But anyway, I'm carrying on. But what you get is you get some of the other special features, the special features that came out originally for the film. You get audio commentary, writer-director Matthew Vaughn, and then you also get a new kind of superhero, the making of Kick-Ass. It's on the comic book origin of Kick-Ass, official trailer, Hit Girl, official Red Band trailer, and then you get a host of Lionsgate Limited extras. Pure cinematic fun, still kicking ass, the work of art, physical media kicks ass, which I thought that was pretty cool. I think that part, if I remember correctly, that feature actually was very, very small. It's a very small feature. But it has the director, I think, talking about, the importance of physical media and why it needs to be around, which it's a great little 2-minute featurette. And then you also get the teaser trailer. But pure cinematic fun. That new feature, it talks about the director, and he's sitting there, he's telling you the origins behind the making of the movie, how things came about. He even talks about, that was a part of it as well, where he talks about when him and Nicolas Cage had spoke about his character. And when Nicolas Cage was in full costume or whatnot, he said, do you want this voice or do you want me to do an Adam West impression? Which, I'm telling you, Nicolas Cage is a legend. I'm glad he's still making movies, no matter if they're great or bad. He's a legend. So that really speaks volumes to his career. And then you got Still Kicking Ass, which it talks about the stunt coordinator or the stuntman that was on the film. And he talks about how brutal his body went through all that stuff in this film. Like the scene where at the very beginning I was just talking about where Kick-Ass goes to rescue this guy, and he literally there's a bunch of dudes that he's fighting all at once. The stuntman was taking all those hits for real. You found that out, and he was taking it for real. Fun featurette. I highly suggest you guys check it out. But anywho, on to the transfer. Man, do I have some stuff to say about the transfer. Now, keep in mind, I'm not running an OLED, but that is no excuse for what I saw on my screen to actually happen. My TV actually has really great blacks. I've got really good blooming control, so there is no blooming whatsoever on my set. But this movie, it looks great. It looks great. Make no mistake about it. It looks fantastic. The highlights are great and sometimes a bit too much. A bit way too much. But it's very sharp, especially with some of the close-ups on the face. But I do have a gripe about the transfer as well. Towards the very end of the movie, to me, it seems like that's where the transfer starts to kind of fall apart. A lot of those up close scenes, they start to look fuzzy. I don't know why it is. And if you get this, you'll see what I'm talking about. But there's like when Hit Girl is taking on all the men at the very end of the movie, there's a few up close shots of her face, and it just looks really fuzzy. It looks very fuzzy. And then the very end where it shows her going to school her first day, it looks really fuzzy. It looks very fuzzy. And I was like, man, it really looked like it was starting to fall apart. So, but still, this is much better than the Blu-ray, much better than the DVD that I remember. And that's the other thing about this release. They didn't include a Blu-ray with this. You just get a 4K disc if you saw it when I opened it up. Typically with Lionsgate Limited releases, they give you a Blu-ray as well as the 4K. So that was pretty shocking. But anyway, still on the transfer and everything. I thought it looked great. I thought it looked great overall, but again, there were some shots, and you'll see in the pictures, there's some shots where it just looked a little bit much on the highlights. It was very extremely bright. But sorry about the beeping in the background. But the audio, you get a Dolby Atmos track. The Dolby Atmos track sounded fantastic. It was phenomenal. Really great Dolby Atmos. So with this being at the price point of $32.99 from Lionsgate Limited, I would highly suggest you guys pick it up. No matter what I thought about the transfer, I thought it still looked amazing. And while it's still available, because truth be told, Lionsgate Limited, I mean, it is limited. I don't know how many, but we saw that with the Kill Bills that they basically sold out. So I would say while it's available, definitely get it. And like I said, their releases aren't bad in price. I mean, for what you get, a steelbook, nice art, and some new special features, I'll say it's a definite go. I would definitely pick this up. But anywho, that's the review for today. I'm glad you guys sat through and watched it. Sorry, I mumbled a little bit more than I should have. But if you like this video, as always, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Your support means the world to me. And I will talk to you guys soon. Peace.